All right, I think we're live.
This looks good to me.
Hey guys,
here we are.
Happy Friday. Today is Friday, August 24th. I'm loving it. It is the TED Show, episode 226. Yes. We're doing a realtor showcase with Jan. I knew what I was going to do. Dan Pacheco. What's your preference?
I really like Pacheco.
Pacheco.
Or Pacheco. Just
like
not
it.
Pacheco. There's
Not
no N in it.
No, do people actually say N?
I've had Lilinko before. Lilinko.
I get Bogart all the time. I'm like, it's ERT and it rhymes with yogurt.
I like that.
See?
Yeah.
You gotta give them stuff. So give us a thumbs up, you guys, to see you popping on. Let us know you can hear us or see us. Tara, how are you?
What's up, Tara?
She was good on she posted some good stuff.
Oh, she's the best.
Yeah, I love it. That was good. She did some good posts. So I'm excited to have you on here. So we ran into each other. I knew of you, of course, but who doesn't know Dan? And then we ran into each other at the YPN event. Was that just last week?
I think it was. Yeah.
Wow. And you stroll up in this white, beautiful. Tell them about your ensemble because it was awesome.
Well, it was hot Havana nights, man.
That's
so
right.
you had to really rock it. So going through my closet, I picked out the best floral shirt that I had and a white blazer. And I was very thankful that nobody stole anything on me, including myself that night.
That's
flawless.
good.
Yeah, so I did it right.
But you know, that jacket, that shirt apparently had only one button on it. It was all the way down at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm lobbying for the men's belly button to come back in style.
Wow, nobody wants to see that on me, so good for you. But that was a great event. I had a good time. Did you have fun?
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Amazing people. The 20 under 40, that group.
Yes.
Just absolutely mind-blowing.
Oh, look, it's Crazy Man just popped up.
Hey,
What's
Gus.
up, Papa Gus? Papa Gus, how's it going? Oh, Lord. But tell us a little bit about you. Like, what they like to know normally is give a little background on you, and then we'll get to your why. Like, how did you come to real estate? But they like to know a little history on Dan.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, in my DNA is coaching, inspiring, and motivating, and that's what's led me through doing that type of role in many different industries. And right now it's in real estate. So I'm a director of sales for ERA Grizzard Lake Mary. We just had our grand opening ceremony.
Beautiful.
It was huge. Thank you so much. And so it's just a day-to-day, really breaking it down, the agents and amplifying their individual impact on their own market. And that's the kind of stuff that I love, man.
So how did you get there, though? How did you get there? You were born and you were not working with Gus.
No, Gus bought me as a baby.
He did.
He bought me as a baby.
Gus.
Just kidding.
Gus,
no.
We're going to give you such a hard time today, Gus. You have no idea.
No, so I've been in real estate marketing, small business brand development for a few years now, and that was on a national scale. Coast to coast, Santa Monica, both Portlands, there are more than just one.
Portland, Maine.
Yes. Yeah, so I actually did that in a series of 2 days, back to back, Portland to Portland, as a kind of travel, stamp. It was so cool. But anyway, I did that on a national scale, meeting with the individual agent, the boutiques of Santa Monica, and the major conglomerates all in there. And I found that there is one thing that many brokerages and agents are struggling to find, and it's really themselves. And once you have that, Ted, you have something that you can fully operate, something that you know so well, because of course you know yourself, better than anybody else does.
I think I do.
You are your own business in a sense,
that's
right?
That's right. We're our own brand.
Exactly.
We're our own people.
And we're so focused on, we'll get into this later, of trying to be this little 8-ounce version of ourselves. But this world has no more use for that. People want real connections, and so that's what I'm there to do. That's what I was doing on a national basis. Then Gus, we actually met at the Florida conference of Realtors, and of course at Headwaters, the bar. If you're familiar with that,
I spent all week there.
Yes, that is my office there, basically.
That was mine too.
Yeah, so we connected, and like I said, I've met so many people in this industry, but knowing Gus and everything that he's created, it really resonated with my vibe. And I knew that we'd be fated to work together in some capacity. A year later, here we are.
There you are. So are you from Florida? Tell us a little bit about your history.
Right. I was born in Dallas, Texas. I lived there for the first 2 months of my life and said, I got to get out. All right? I love it there, seriously. But yeah, so 2 months old, and then I moved to Colorado, 5 places there before I was 5 years old. Then down here to Florida, 2 places here, moved up to North Carolina where my mom's from, came back down here for high school, finished my high school career, best 12 years of my life, and then I moved around a little bit on my own. As soon as I graduated, it's like, you know what, I'm going to go down south. I moved to Boca, Ted.
Nice.
And being 18, I didn't have a lot of money.
Oh.
What was I doing in Boca? Why was I there? So I moved back up to Winter Park, and now here I am with my lovely wife and daughter, and a daughter on the way.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
I had 2 girls first, and then I had a boy. I don't know why my wife went for the 3rd, but we're very happy she did.
So thankful. So, Hunter. Hey, Hunter.
Ted, he out-blazered you on your own show.
No.
Matt Gordon, right?
I'll take it off right now.
No, that's a great blazer. I knew he'd come fully dressed. Well, I mean, I was hoping he'd come fully dressed, but I knew he'd come ready to show off.
I got you.
Which I like.
I got you.
Girls rule. There's Gus.
That's right.
Girls rule. That's right. Gus has girls.
Yeah.
Yes.
Girl dad.
Girl dad. So, but how did you get into real estate? Like, what was you played around, you graduated up here. Where'd you go to high school?
Lake Mary High.
Okay. I was Colonial, way before you were born. So I went to
class.
You can see the skin difference, my friend, and the cheek difference. But what did you do when you graduated? Did you always want to know you wanted to get in real estate, or did you just try different things? Obviously, you're a natural salesperson, a natural talker, a natural coach, like somebody who coaches. But what did you do?
Yeah, so I messed around, odd jobs here and there. I was really into running at the time. So much where I know it doesn't look like as much anymore, but I used to be a professional athlete to some extent. I had a few sponsorships, right? And endurance running. So getting into that, I decided to apply my degree, biomechanics, totally related to real estate. Biomechanics. So I applied that to actually starting my own training company focused on endurance running. And our whole niche with it was really more so, it was recognizing that there was more than just physical and mental to the components of how you get something done. It's actually largely the emotional and spiritual side of things, Ted. And I used that for coaching, made us very successful with that, and then got that same sentiment into where I am now. But the bridge there was actually one of my favorite guys to really put through the ringer, one of my favorite athletes. Just love seeing his red face, the snot coming down, every time.
That's now, me when I walk from the car to the Citrus Club.
Is now the COO of ERA Grizzard. So he was someone that, again, I really connected with. He understood my vibe, my approach to training, and he's a very forward thinker. His name is Philip Gagnon, very forward thinker. He's awesome at identifying components of things and putting the things together to make even better things.
Love that.
Yeah, so that's how I came to be into real estate. He got me involved with it, and some of his clients and people that he knew, and here we are.
So Gus says, do they make that in a full men's size?
Only Italian model size, Gus. We've been through this.
Yeah, Gus, it's not made in our size, I can tell you that. So what do you think about the real estate industry now? It's obviously going through some changes. What's your perception of what's happening? And then obviously with realtors, if you're working with them, you're coaching them, you're helping them out, you're helping them grow their business, it's a new world now, really.
It is.
So what are some of the problems you see, and what are some of the solutions that you're helping them with?
Yeah, so really, to answer your first question, how do I feel about real estate? I absolutely love it, and I'm very, very bored with it. I'm most disappointed with it, and that's why I want to be involved with it, and that's why I love being a part of this community, especially here in Central Florida. There really are a lot of innovators. So I firmly believe that if you love something, the industry you're in, the sport you're in, whatever you're doing so much that you don't want to see it change, then really you're a spectator and you belong on the sidelines. If you really care about it, you should be involved in it, trying to change it, form it, and really elevate, evolve it. So that's how I feel about real estate, and that's what I really try to get down to, again, on the individual level, with the agents that trust me with developing their book of business. First of all, it's imagining a square. Okay, so imagine a square, and each corner is going to represent a corner of your brand. Okay, now real estate or mortgage, whatever it may be, that's one of them, right? It's what you do.
Sure.
But the other three things are really the reason that people are going to connect with you, right? They're going to assume if you are in real estate, you can move homes, right? They assume if you're in mortgage, you can get it done, right? But why? What should they care about? And a lot of times, the professional side will say, well, I've got an amazing report card. Right. I've done all these things. Oh, it's like the whole, imagine we're out there in the bar right now and just go walk up to somebody and just start spewing accolades and awards we've won, all these things, and then say, hey, you want to go away for a vacation this weekend?
Right.
No, they want to get away.
Biggest
right?
pet peeve. I can't stand it. Yeah. Sometimes I think realtors, it's not just realtors, but we in the business, we promote our accolades. Now, I'm all for everybody getting accolades. Don't get me wrong. I think it's important. But if every other post is the latest, greatest award or accolade that you won or somebody handed you, it's boring, and then it's also a turnoff, I think.
For sure.
I think people, especially if you're a regular consumer and you're looking at that, I mean, there's only so much of that where I start to go, well, that's either fake or that's BS or this person's so full of themselves I'd never want to work with them.
Truth. Absolutely. So you get it. And that's really the reason that I'm here, because I really like your style. I think this is what you're doing is an awesome thing.
Thank you.
So you get it. And it's connecting people with real people. And it's so going back to the corners, you know, whatever you can passionately and intelligently talk about, that's the rest of your brand.
Right.
And that's what you produce out there. And that goes with social media, that goes with your marketing, all these things. This basically just become you and then amplify that. And that's my favorite question to ask agents or anybody that I'm working with is, why should someone know you? Why should I work with you? And all the time, Ted, and I know that you hear this all the time too. I'm passionate, I'm dedicated, I want to serve.
Right.
Everyone
So
says
what
that.
should they say? What do you think?
It's sometimes as easy as synonyms, right? Just swap out a word. That hits them much more deeply because, again, they're so used to the same words being used over and over again.
Tell them what synonyms are.
Synonyms are, it's the component to
You never
sugar,
know,
you
listen.
sprinkle a cinnamon on toast, and it's delicious.
You can Google synonym for a certain word if
Right.
you're looking for something different, but that's actually great. You trade something out so it doesn't sound like the same
Right.
repetitive BS, flaky kind of thing that a lot of these people do or say.
And I encourage people to go deeper than that, but at the very least, just use a synonym. Seriously, just something that just swap it out. So instead of saying I'm busy, say I'm in high demand, right? Because nobody wants you to be.
Oh man, I like that. I'm in high demand.
I don't want you to be busy. Grandma doesn't want you to be busy. Nobody wants you to be busy. But if you're in high demand, hey, what am I missing out on?
Right.
You know, why are you in high demand? And that's even more, I mean, I could give you a bunch of construction paper right now and some glue sticks, and you'd be busy, right? But is that going to be productive for you? No, you know what I mean? So
That is so good. You're right. Like, trade it out. High demand's actually a really good one. I get tired of saying busy, and then I used to say I'm crazy, but then people started to believe it, so I meant it about my schedule and not necessarily me. Now I'm trying to find a different word where I like high demand. It's just a matter of making it so it's more palatable for the people because they just don't want to hear the same thing over and over again. If you tell somebody you're busy 10 times in a row, that's a clear message to them that they don't matter.
Right.
So it's so important for you to really, I love the wording part, really focus on how you're getting your message across.
absolutely.
So when you're working with a realtor in this market, and I always have to say realtor.
Realtor. Oh
There's
man,
no three.
some of us will just go, ooh, crazy on that.
Realtor.
Yeah.
When you're working with a realtor in this market, what are some of the challenges that you see them having market-wise?
It's learning to share.
I like that.
And we live and work in a market and even on a planet that there's so much out there that everybody can win and nobody has to lose, but we're so focused on trying to catch a breath of air over the water, pushing each other's heads down. Man, just like put your feet down, you can actually stand. And it's actually, the water's really nice and we can enjoy this together. You know what I mean?
That.
So it's being able to work with that, and also, Ted, it's the employee-employer mindset. So a lot of agents, they get into the business because they want to fly their own flag. They're done working for corporate America or whatever it is, right? But when things get tough, people start, my prospecting's not working, whatever it is. They go to their broker, the team leader, the director of sales, whoever you are, their leader, and that leader, kind of oftentimes, sadly, doesn't really inspire them or lead them.
They don't.
They give them things to do, tell them to get busy, right? So now you went from, going again, running your own business, being your own entrepreneur, to working for somebody technically, but this is the weird part, Ted. Now you're paying them. If you're paying your broker, if you have a split, you're actually paying somebody to go work for them.
Right.
What? Right? So it's taking back the mindset of saying, you know what, as an agent, as a realtor, then it's a brokerage that's supposed to go to work for you. You are hiring the brokerage to get you there, to accelerate and amplify, incubate your business. So I think once the brokers, once the directors, all those people start thinking that way, the agents start becoming more empowered, then that's when I think they'll fully be more comfortable to really be themselves. Then that does, it's tenfold. I mean, everything falls into place at that point.
Because you have, I feel like there's so many big brokers, boutique brokerages. I mean, there's a whole bunch of choices. You should find the one. You should certainly spend the time, in my opinion, to find the one that's the right fit for you. But you also have to know what your needs are. If your needs are you just graduated from the class and you're brand new, and you look at a contract and you can't spell contract and have to look up a synonym for contract. Synonym. Ooh, that's a tough one. And you're not at that place, you need to find a brokerage that will help you, that will guide you through there. If you go to one of the brokerages that really you're in, they're looking for more experienced people, but they hire you for whatever reason, don't look for help there. It doesn't come. It's the way it's set up, and so you have to do your research, I think. And this is in all businesses. Don't go with a company if you don't know what your needs are. It's very difficult to know how to get them to give you what you need if you don't even know what you need.
Right, and that's, you nailed it, Ted. Like, seriously, that's what it is. It's identifying your needs, and it goes back to the thing I said before about asking somebody what their brand is or who they are. It's a tough question for them to answer, and so if they don't know themselves, they don't know really what they need, and it's very. We have those little pre-programmed responses.
We do.
I need training. I need culture. I need this. Well, what training do you need?
Correct.
How do you learn? Are you visual? Are you hands-on?
Right.
How do you digest things?
Nobody thinks like that. They don't. Well, it's because they believe they know what they are, but when they try to drill down on it, they really haven't gone below maybe the first or second layer. But you're right. How do you learn? That's very important to me. I'm a visual learner, not auditory. So you and I can have a conversation. You can say, "Please, Ted, don't tell anybody that." Trust me, I won't remember. So you're going to be golden. You can trust me with anything you tell me verbally.
Can I tell you a secret right now?
Please.
Oh, never mind.
No, we'll catch that one. But a lot of people are auditory, and they prefer to have a phone call. They has to be on the phone. They have to have a phone conference. And I'm okay in meeting because it's visual. Right. But on the phone, if you tell me a whole bunch of details and then I have to figure out where to put a pen and stuff like that,
oh gosh,
I'm like, we could have done this in a text message. But that's me.
Right.
You have to know where your learning is. You have to know what your needs are. And sometimes that's really, in my opinion, the first step to figuring out, okay, now I know what I want to be. Now I know what I need. Now let me go find the place that matches me.
Absolutely. It's love language. I mean, it's
used. That's right.
It's some people love the post-it notes. Some people love the back rubs. Some people love the praises. And that's one thing that my wife and I really try to remember, because we have very different love languages. So my 100% effort is received as her 20%, and vice versa.
Right.
So it's very applicable in relationships.
It is.
And work relationships. I mean, thankfully, I love her to death, and we understand each other now. But there are those times where it's just that, like, I'm trying so hard, but I need to speak your language.
Correct. And sometimes that's difficult. You think like my wife, I can't remember what her love language is. Here it is. She probably verbally told it to me. So I don't remember. The tape, edit this out. She'll be fine. She's at school. She won't watch. But yeah, her love language is different. And I think until she read the book and she read it to me, or I read it, that I didn't really realize. So you're right. That communication, it's not just in a marriage or relationships. It's in all relationships. It's in business relationships.
Right.
And you really have to take time to learn about that, especially all these people, like when they're building teams, for example.
Yeah.
So in your world, on the team world, you've got people working with you that have come into it as an independent, and they have this independent thinking, and then you have to try to figure out how to partner with people, and you may do things completely differently. Do you find that?
Oh,
and when you're working
absolutely.
with those people, what are some of the things that you do? Do you have? Do we all have a big group hug? Do we kumbaya? What do we do to make it to the next level where they understand each other better?
That's a great question. So teams, I know that's always a topic of contention, debate. Should I get a team going? Should I join a team? Whatever it may be, right? The concept of a team, I love the concept of a team, but the way that it's done typically leaves a lot to be desired. So, for instance, the brokerage that I'm aligned with and I work for, we have less amount of teams than most anybody. And I just realized that. And I'm thinking, like, why is that? And really, it's the why do you want to go to a team, right? You either want to lead a team to get more production and eventually step out possibly, you want to expand, or you want to, on the other side, go into a team to learn and get something that you may not be getting someplace else or have not gotten from someplace else, right? You want to take a little bit more control for you. So really focus on why, again, do you need to be a part of a team? And then see if you can do that on your own, or maybe more collaborative with somebody else, and this is the part going back to sharing. I want us all to wear the same war paint, here in Orlando and Central Florida. Just because our name tags have a different logo on them does not mean that we should not be able to go into each other's offices and receive and share knowledge and grow it. Seriously, evolve Orlando. That's what we're trying to do here. I think that's what we're doing, and I hope people that are watching will be inspired to try to evolve Orlando further for themselves. But it's going back to, again, why, what do I need, what haven't I got before, and thinking, well, maybe I can get this from, just knowing the right people.
It's such a good point, because a lot of people tell me, well, I'm a realtor, why would I be part of Aura? I mean, you have to be for your MLS, I guess, but why would I be involved? Or why would I be involved in Women's Council of Realtors? Or why would I be involved in anything that's real estate? Why do I want to hang out with other realtors? What's that going to do for my business? You're missing the complete point of collaboration, which is what Dan was talking about. And remember, you can have personal growth from other people and learn from other people, even if they have a different name tag on. And I think it's so important. I think the people who understand and move up and really participate in more collaborative efforts, I believe that those are the ones that tend to be more happy, more successful, more content. And you find them in leadership roles, super involved in their community. I mean, there's no reason why you can't work with an ER agent, can't be friends with and work and collaborate with a KW agent.
Exactly.
It just doesn't make any sense to me, but there are people of that mindset.
Absolutely.
I find it fascinating. All right, so what do you do to feed you? Like, so you're out there, I know what coaching's like. So you're out there, you're coaching, you're giving it all, you're listening to them, you're giving feedback, and then how do you re-energize? How do you reignite?
It's a great question. It's a really important thing to have, right? To have that moment, or that sacred ceremonial thing for you. So it used to be running for me, long distances. The further you go, the more lonely it becomes, and I kind of thrived in that. But I haven't been running as much anymore, so you have to find shifts. It sounds so cliche and everyone says it, but it really is time with family. But specific and deliberate time with family, not just sitting on the couch scrolling through Instagram next to your wife that's scrolling through Instagram next to your toddler that's watching TV. Right. It's deliberate time with them, and it's looking into it deeper, knowing that this is legacy that we're creating here, and life is not short. It's literally the longest thing we're ever going to do, right? So why make it terrible and disconnected? Like, have the connections. This is it, man. All it comes down to is looking into my wife's eyes, my daughter's eyes, and just knowing that there's something there.
That's awesome. I think that people read a whole bunch of books. They're coached. They read a ton of books. They watch movies. They watch documentaries, and they're hoping by osmosis that all of that knowledge is going to make them more present. And then they're the same ones that I see on their phones. Checking Instagram, checking Facebook, when you have 3 people in front of them and there's no communication going on. What can we do? Like, it's easy. It's funny to me because I am guilty of it. I've done it, so I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody out there. But I think that I wish that there were some tools that we could take, or they could take with them, on what to do with that. Like, so I have a friend who makes you put your phone in a bowl before you even walk into the house. I mean, that's the old days of DUI and throw your keys in. But that's how addictive it's become. That's how much when you're look at people at dinner at a restaurant. Most of them are on their phones. Nobody's talking anymore.
It's heartbreaking. Ted, you know that photo of that iconic photo of the construction workers eating lunch on the steel beam in New York City?
Yes.
Yeah. I saw one that I wish I would have had the camera, because I swear it had been that iconic of the time. So my wife and I were at Epcot, and we were waiting in line to go into one of the restaurants there, and we see a family of 4. A dad, a mom, and 2 kids. And the dad's got his iPad. And then each kid has their own iPad.
Wow.
At Disney. Just meditate on that thought. At Disney, all right? No, again, nothing wrong with the screen. I know days get hot, crazy long, It's fine. But the worst part about it was the mom. And she was just sitting there like this.
Oh, yeah.
They're there on a family vacation, all 3 of them. Her husband and her kids are disconnected, and she's just sitting there looking so miserable. And this should be a happy time for them, right?
Right.
So it's losing that connection even within the people that you feel most connected to. And really, that's something that I've been guilty of as a coach, as you mentioned. I give so much to the people from the 7 a.m. to the 7 p.m. But with my family, I don't give as much. I went through that phase where I was just focused on in my mind. I thought by focusing on my career so much, it was doing the right thing for my family.
God, that's an excellent point. Say that again, because that's.
I thought by focusing on my career so much, I was doing the right thing for my family, but I lost connection with my family. And it hurts. It was one of those things. Even still now, it still hurts to think about the times that I've missed you know,
Right.
playing peekaboo through FaceTime with my daughter kind of thing, you know, traveling, always being out. But man, it's now that it's, you know, I'm at home more and
awesome.
It's more deliberate time, love and everything has been growing from that.
But you are cognizant of it. I think that's a big step, is becoming cognizant and then trying to do something about it. It's not like, I guess you could overnight just change the whole thing, throw your stuff out. I've heard people say, I just got rid of everything. Well, I'm not sure that that's necessarily the answer for everybody, but at least take a step, one step. Make sure your iPhones, your iPads are away at dinner every night. Try to have dinner together if you can. I mean, it's the teeny little things. That's one thing the kids, my kids are much older, the kids growing up, that's one thing I know we did every night no matter what. If I had a networking event once a week, that was it. But other than that, 6 days a week, I was at the dinner table with them, and we were all at the dinner table together.
Yeah.
And that was so important. And that was back before it got too crazy. But towards the end there, the kids would try to bring out their iPhones. We were horribly guilty of it. And all you have, one step at a time, people.
Yeah.
You don't overthink it too much. You know what you need to do, and that's what I tell people when I'm trying to coach them. You already know what you need to do. So let me give you permission to do it, and let's try to figure out the steps one at a time for you to get there.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to share all of Dan's, see how fast it goes, Dan's contact information, how you can reach him, how you can buy that jacket. If I have one more comment about Daddy out-jacketed you, which I was hoping he would do anyway. I knew he would. But you want to share that because I want people to be able to access you as much as you want to be available and how they can reach out to you. But we'll share that after the show.
Sure.
So go ahead.
Well, first of all, if you saw on Facebook last night in the comments about the show, I brought something for you talking about the fashion.
Oh my God, I forgot you did that.
So some people know me as this little pocket square, if you can see that. So Ted, I brought you your very own
I have my own pocket square.
You're the second guy in Orlando to have something like this.
Nice.
No one else is doing it, all right? So there you go, my friend.
All right.
Look at that.
Thank
oh,
you
it looks
so
good
much.
too.
Look at
Yeah,
it. Look
so there you go,
that's
man.
very sweet of you.
Bonded for
Thank
life.
you.
But yeah, so
Thank
what's in the, oh, of course.
I
Thank
just
you for
want to
having
know
me here.
your parting words of wisdom. Anything you want to share with them before we head out?
Absolutely. So guys, listen, whether in your real estate or not, whatever it is, if you're in Orlando, if you're on planet Earth, I want to know you, okay? I'm calling people out to be inspiring, to evolve this place that we're all on and in part of. So please reach out to me, go through Ted. Can I give my phone number again?
Please give everything.
407-312-5237. Again, 407-312-5237. Find me on Instagram. It's at @TheWolfDan. You'll find me there. It's a picture with my medals and, you know, when I was about 40 pounds skinnier.
That medal picture. I
But
posted that today.
I saw that. Thank you very much. But yeah, seriously, I'm just looking to make some really great connections and, you know, help uncover you and, you know, shine it, man. Shine those lights.
One last question. I usually don't do this, but I meant to ask it earlier. Where does this that you are come from? Did you grow up in an environment that was like that? Is this all something internal that you've known since you were young? Where is that fire, that want to help people, that desire? You're definitely more highly evolved. Where does that come from?
It comes from a lot of reflection, a lot of alone time. Growing up, I was severely overweight, obese. Of course, with that, kids get creative with what they want to call you and how they treat you. Moving around a lot as well as a kid. I had 5 different elementary schools, you know, so having those relationships that lasted long, even, you know, it wasn't just down the street, it was across the country. And it was all for the betterment of our family. You know, my parents kept getting, you know, the next step up and continuing it on because there were times, Ted, where we lived in pretty bad parts of town, like drive-bys, you know, tons of drug trafficking, crazy stuff, and seeing my parents, knowing now as a parent, imagining what they must have felt having a family being raised in that, and now seeing where they are now and all the opportunities that they provided me throughout my life, that's where it comes from. And so with the inspiring, the coaching, the energy, it's not a character, but it's a different shade of me. It's still authentic, but I am still on the inside a very shy person. But what I look at is, if I can help somebody, if I can be on stage or on a video or an interview, whatever it is, and there's something that I say that resonates with someone that's also very shy or also in a place that they're very vulnerable and they don't know really how to get out, then that's worth overcoming my anxiety with it to help them. And so the why, the how, it's because of the true desire to connect and to help people, again, let them know that it's fine to fly their freak flag. It's fine to be themselves.
Fly your freak flag.
Yes, it's fine to be themselves because people will often adore you. You will have an audience. No matter who you are, your beliefs, you will have an audience. It's just about me remaining consistent and relevant and real. That's what I'm here to do.
That was beautiful. Thank you, buddy. All right, so we're going to share all this Dan's contact information after. We love you guys.
Thank you so much for watching.
I'll be back later on. I'm so happy you came on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll be back in a little while. Fly your freak
yes.
flag. Woo!